So while I was uploading the video in my privates for me to post it later, I was like, okay, let me just shuffle, get that out of the way for the Divine Feminine, and do the same message where what is the emotions of the Divine Feminine at the moment and how are they feeling towards the Divine Masculine. And the first card that flew out was Courage. And it says, I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. So Divine Feminine is that you were going, when you first started this journey, you were probably a very fearful person. And I just talked about this recently in one of my other videos, and I posted about it, how my kid needed to go to the hospital because he fainted. I took him to the hospital because he fainted. And that put me in a fearful mindset where I was like, oh my God, like I want to keep up on everything and just like own in on him, right? And every day, day in and day out, I just want to own in on him and make sure that he's like good, right? But like that was my fearful mindset, being like, I didn't even want to go outside anymore. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to make sure that he was okay. So in that moment, and then a day or two after, I was still in that fearful mindset. I was like scared not wanting to do anything because I was so scared for him. But I had to get back into my place, and I'm like, no, have the courage, like live your life. Everything's going to be okay. Surrender to the divine. He's not going to let anything happen, right? So this is the thing, like I just shared that story, meant to share that story, but like Divine Feminine, you've probably had so many situations in your life where you felt fearful of what you were capable of doing, fearful of your path, fearful of like, you've probably gone on a path where you've exited the 3D world, or you're planning to exit the 3D world, and you're just focusing on your passion and hope and praying and trusting that your passion is going to fuel you. Your passion is going to be your abundance, because when you pursue your passion and your life purpose, you attracted abundance, right? So you've been having the courage to let go of fear, let go of your lack mindset, literally surrendering and trusting in the universe, which takes a lot of courage to just surrender and be like, I put my faith and my life in your hands, that you're going to make everything possible and you're going to give me the signs to take aligned action on what I need to do to be better, to get to where I want to go, to follow the path of my abundant timeline, what I set out to do, what blueprint I created before I came in here. So you keep day in, day out, find the inner strength. Even when you have days where you're ascending, you sit in those emotions and you're like, okay, another ascension timeline, another ascension process. What do I need to learn in this moment? What am I purging? You just let things be. You go with the flow. You're getting more and more where you're going with the flow, and having the courage is what's giving you that. The courage and the trust that things are going to work out. You know, you find your inner strength to face fear with confidence. That courage is what's giving you the confidence to pursue your passion. If you're like me and you're recording videos and messages to the world, your courage is what gave you the confidence to do it, to be like, I'm meant to do something bigger. I'm meant to share messages that help wake the collective. So I'm going to do it whether I feel fearful or not. I'm going to step into that fear and lead with courage, right? So your courage has been your strength. Your courage is what has led you down this transformation, because you've had the courage to have the discipline to pursue your passion, for other areas of your life as well. And this is like health, right? Like I'm going to talk about it after, but I just want to touch on it. You have the courage to eat the right things and have the discipline to get rid of substances and really focus on your mental health and physical health. But I'll touch on that a little bit after. But the second card that came out was Patience. Funny, came out for the Divine Masculine as well. And the courage, actually, I want to say is that you've had the courage, because I didn't talk about the emotions, right? Of how they feel, how the emotions are towards the Divine Masculine. It was just on a personal level. You've had the courage to share your feelings with this Divine Masculine. You've had the courage to let the Divine Masculine know how you feel, even when you felt like you're unsure of how they feel about you. You still lead with courage. You still lead with courage, that you have the confidence that if this is divinely intertwined, then it will come back into my life. You have the courage and confidence to be like, I'm going to say how I feel. So yeah, you've had the courage to express how you feel, even though it meant rejection. Whereas before, you'd probably hide your feelings because you didn't want to feel rejected. So now you're like, no, I'm going to share how I feel and put the ball in Divine Masculine's court, whether they want to express how they feel or not. So you shared how you felt, even though you don't know how the masculine really feels about you. You have an idea, you're trusting your intuition, but you don't really know because they haven't expressed it with you in a very long time if you're in the separation journey. So you've had the courage, and you've had the courage to be patient within this connection. You've had the courage to allow the masculine to go on their journey, figure their things out, and if you're meant to align back, you guys will come back into union. Or you've had the courage to be like, if you're not meant to align back, then you wish them the best on whatever journey and whatever path they decide to take. So you have the courage to just use your inner strength to face your fears of being like, even if there's a potential that you could lose the divine masculine, you're still like, I notice that when I do readings, I say they for the divine masculine, but then I talk, even though I'm doing like how are the emotions of the divine feminine towards the divine masculine, I talk about it like as the divine feminine, right? And it's because I'm a divine feminine, so I tend to talk about it in that sense. But basically, the divine feminine has had the courage to express her feelings and really be authentic with herself and pursue the things that she wants to pursue. And she's had the courage to express to divine masculine how she feels about him, and not shying away from it. You know, she's had the courage to trust her intuition to lead her to say what she's meant to say in each moment, take aligned actions on the things that the divine is leading her to. And she's had the courage to have the patience that if this connection is supposed to come back, it'll come back. If not, it won't, right? And she accepts that everything happens in divine order. Exactly what I said about in the other one is that divine feminine is gaining the patience, which is something that she probably struggled with a lot. And it's something that she's overcoming and being like, okay, she has moments where she loses her patience, and she's like, I don't know about this journey. I don't know if this is right. I don't know if my intuition is telling me the right thing. And she questions herself. But at the end of the day, she always comes back to a place where she's like, okay, I got to surrender. I got to keep having patience. I got to just trust in what the universe is leading me to do. So she's really learning to trust and have patience with divine masculine, that I'll let him go on his path of self-discovery. She has no idea what's going on in divine masculine's life. All she knows is that he hasn't expressed himself. So she's like, okay, I'm going to keep having the patience that divine masculine is on his journey of spiritual awakening, and everyone has their time period. Like the way divine feminine was at the beginning of her journey is not where she is now, and she doesn't know what stage you, divine masculine, are at right now. So she's like, I'm just gonna have patience with, let him work through whatever he's going through in his life, and he'll figure it out, right? So she's learning to have patience with all areas of her life, patience with her abundance coming in, patience with direction coming in, and just having patience to be in the present moment and trust the process, trusting divine timing. And also she's focused on her health, putting the right foods in her body, getting exercise, getting sunlight, doing the things that make her feel good, that take care of her nervous system, her mental health, that keep her in a state where she can record messages and share messages with the world, that she can work on her passions, that she can be a service to this world. She's really focused on her mental and physical health right now, because when those two are aligned, her soul can do her purpose, because she's realized that she's in this vessel, but this vessel needs nourishment to survive and thrive. So she's really focused, because she was probably in a place before where her mental health especially felt destroyed. And that's when she had her spiritual awakening. And that's when she was like, I don't know if I'm going to get out of this. But by her having the courage to keep going down this path, then she is that, and surrendering and having the patience that everything's going to work out, patience with herself as well, just like what I said about the divine masculine, having patience that she's going to heal this, that she's going to get through this, that her health is going to get better, her mental health, that self-love, all these things are going to get developed by her taking these actions day by day. And she's already seen it reflecting on her, that, wow, my mental health is more stable. She may have moments where she's fearful, like what I said, when I had a moment that I was fearful with my son, but she gets out of it. She overcomes it faster than what she did before, and that's probably because she's let go of substances and stuff, which is what made her feel emotionally unstable, because she couldn't regulate her emotions because the substances were constantly in her body, basically. So by her letting go of that was a big release, and then she had to do all the work of putting the right foods in her body, getting the exercise, getting sunlight, sitting with her feelings, meditating, trusting, leaning into the creator, and that's what's got her to a healthy place. And then her emotions towards you is also that she probably feels like you're going through this too, where you're trying to regulate your mental health and your nervous system and your physical health, and doing the same things that she's doing, because you want to feel good about yourself. You want to feel confident about who you are and confident in your physical appearance, because your physical, it reflects, your internal reflects your external, but you have to work on both to feel good about yourself, right? So she probably feels that you're working on this as well, where you're you're focused on your health, your mental health and your physical health, and you don't want to come back into alignment until you get to that place, right? So yeah, she's been working on her health to make sure that she gets into a place where she's mentally stable and feels good about herself and gains that self-love before she comes into a relationship with you or anyone. So she wants to be good for you and for herself, so that like you two are growing together and motivating each other and just pouring love into one another. But she can't do that unless she feels in a place where she's mentally stable and physically feels good about herself too, right? But it's more like mental stability